Older divorced Chinese aunties by the thousands are marrying Trump-supporting white men. Yeah, there are thousands of Elaine Chows running around all over the country. And the archetype is like this. The woman has had a really bad marriage to a Chinese man. It either ended back in China or when she immigrated here. Like she said, he was abusive, controlling. She maybe had 1 or 2 kids by him. He either died or she divorced him. And then she swears off Asian men always and forever. She's like, I'm never fucking with an Asian guy again. I'm like, okay, go off, queen. There's like 2 billion Asian men. You just only knew one. Crazy generalization to make. And instead of dating literally any other race of people or even a liberal white man, they go for Trump supporters. I don't know how, I don't know why, but my mom has like 5 friends who did this. My mom herself has alluded to doing this. Like if she were to leave my dad, she would marry a white guy. And on the surface, these white guys look a lot better because they are often divorced themselves. So they've had like one go around of manipulating and belittling and abusing a woman. So they've learned to hide it. And they probably also have Asian fetish, but since these women grew up in China, they didn't, grow up with the knowledge of how bad that feels. So they don't really know what they're getting into. And they don't speak English very well. Obviously, the Trump supporting guys don't speak Chinese. I mean, they hate all immigrants. Why would they learn our language? And so they just wind up in this marriage where they can't really fight because they can't communicate. And they just have sex with each other, I guess, and everything is fine. She's usually getting like a green card or something out of it. And he gets a docile Asian wife who literally can't do anything against him because then she will have to leave the country. Win-win. Great. But like nobody's talking about how these men just hate women in general. And when you're stuck in a foreign country with no way to make your own money and no way to stay in that country without your white husband who literally hates your people and you don't know anybody except for all the other Chinese aunties on WeChat, like what are you going to do if he starts controlling you, hitting you, taking away your money? Where are you going to go? Why do you hate yourself so much that you would subject yourself to this at like age 40, 50 plus, often to a man who looks that much older than you, even if he isn't? Because we know how they age. We know how they age. We know how we age. It's different. And it's like, I feel like I have some sort of responsibility to these women just because they share my language and my ethnicity, but they're not stupid. They know what they're getting into. They know what they've been saying about Asian men this entire time. And that doesn't fly with me. They don't even listen to their children when they go and do these things. I don't know. Go ahead. These aunties are not my problem. For most Asian American women, marriage to white men is considered highly advantageous and our families really encourage it. It's not like the struggle interracial love that our parents oppose because they want us to have Asian husbands. Absolutely not, no. It might have been that way like decades ago, and some communities discourage it more than others. I think Koreans really prioritize marrying other Koreans. That's at least what my ex-boyfriend told me. But at least in China and for Chinese Americans, which is what I am, getting a white husband is a flex. It is something that you show off to your entire family. You talk about how your kids are going to have blonde hair and blue eyes, even though they're not. Your whole family is going to be so excited that you got an American husband. Yes, even if you are Asian American, they will call only white people American. That is a thing. They always view it as a step up in life. Even if your white man is broke, even if he treats you badly in front of everybody, they'll just say, why aren't you working hard enough for his acceptance? If you do more, then he will really accept you and he won't cheat on you with a younger Asian woman. Absolutely not. And I know this view is so prevalent because a lot of divorced older Chinese aunties will swear off Asian men and only go for white men, specifically Trump supporters. There's also this idea in our community that Asian men are a lot more misogynistic than white men, which is absolute bullshit. Misogyny just looks different, and if you are raised culturally Chinese, you will not be as attuned to the way that misogyny shows up in Western society and how it will show up in your marriage to a white man. So TLDR, we are highly encouraged to do this, and we will be praised by our families for the rest of our lives for marrying a white guy.
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, welcome on board. So it's no longer news that we know a lot of Asian people do love to marry white men. I've seen it several times traveling throughout the states in America. I've seen a lot of Chinese women with sometimes older white men, but I never knew that they felt this way, especially with the explanation of all these videos on how Chinese always want to be close to whiteness, proximity to whiteness, they want to identify because they feel, white people or white Americans are the standard, right? And they've always wanted to align with them. So now listening to these Asian people coming out to tell us the truth as it is, because we all know that Asians usually like to live, very, very private, right? So now these Asians are coming out to spill the tea. Like, I never knew, they have this internalized racism. I never knew that's how their parents feel about white people generally. It's kind of crazy why any other person out there, any person of color would feel the same way Black people have been feeling for the longest part. It's kind of crazy, but in another different light, right? Like the Chinese parents would like to have their, children marrying white people, especially the women. It's kind of crazy. And I've seen why a lot of people go, the passport bros usually go to Thailand, usually go to, all these Asian countries in search of Asian women. So guys, what do you think about this latest development? Please drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you think.
To the Asians that are still bending over backwards for white acceptance, what has it gotten you? You guys got rid of affirmative action, and now we are not getting into top universities at the same rate that we used to, but when affirmative action was still a thing. Our elders were getting beat up in the streets during COVID. Did you having a white husband stop that from happening to your mom? Some of y'all made that shitty fusion cuisine and put strawberry in matcha, and now the white people really like it. And our food costs way too much. There's a matcha shortage. The colonizers are looking at ube now. They're trying to bulldoze Chinatowns across the nation. And your white husband is still gonna cheat on you when you have a baby and he finds a younger Asian woman. Your kid still doesn't have blue eyes. Your kid still has brown hair. What has it gotten you? What has this house servant mentality gotten you, gotten your family, gotten your community? I get that you feel better than other Asian women. I get that you feel like you're prettier, smarter, more accepted than Asian women like me who don't choose to do those things. But you're not even getting paid for waiting around in H Mart waiting to help a white person find Asian groceries. Please move out of the way. I'm trying to get my chicken feet here. Oh yeah. And what has voting for Trump personally done for you?
This girl is wealthy. Her marrying him doesn't benefit her financially. That's not the whole picture here at all. The three power hierarchies that rule humanity: capitalism, patriarchy, and racism. Having privilege in capitalism does not erase the impact of patriarchy and racism. Even with financial privilege, you'd still be looked down as an Asian woman. Why so many Asian women choose white men? Asian men do not give a shit about Asian women. They only care about their position in the power hierarchy, meaning their victim mindset when somebody's racist to them. But there's so much misogyny that when it comes to the women in the family and community, their pains and problems are not even acknowledged. So oftentimes Asian women who are fighting for their privilege distance themselves from their own community. Even if not physically, they emotionally, mentally check out. In the human jungle, being alone is weakness. The path of least resistance for them is to please white supremacy. That's going to give them the illusion of safety. If she chooses not to opt into white supremacy, then she needs to partner with other women of color and the oppressed group. Because of the racial narcissistic system and where Asians fall under as a teacher's pet of the narcissistic white supremacy, she finds herself in a very challenging position where by default, other women of color do not trust her. So then the work that is required for an Asian woman is to do a lot of deconstructing of internalized racism and the colorism that she was raised with, seeing white as better and her savior, so she can actually build a community with other women of color. This takes a significant amount of shadow work, which triggers every bit of the fragility and ego.
Hey, excuse me, is it true that you people only like white men?
What the hell? What do you mean, you people?
Asian girls.
No, that's a disgusting stereotype.
There was literally an Oxford study that proves that Asian women love white men. It's science.
No, that study was about something completely different.
You read studies? I'm not buying that. You're a woman.
I may be a woman, but I'm also an Asian. So I'm smart. That study wasn't even about real-life interracial relationships. It was about media depictions of how they can perpetuate stereotypes that Asian women are submissive and hypersexual, which isn't even necessarily true.
Yeah, I didn't listen to any of that. Do you like white men or not?
Well, I do, but that's just a coincidence.
Want to come back to my place and let me colonize you?
It's kind of funny. Okay.
I have a message for Asian women that date white guys. As the biracial child of that kind of couple, I don't have anything against it. You know, you do you, who cares? I don't care who dates who, right? But did you know that if you have a daughter and your daughter goes outside with your white ass fucking husband, people are gonna think that they're together? Did you know that? And it will emotionally damage your daughter forever. To this day, I refuse to go to like a restaurant alone with my dad because I cannot emotionally recover from somebody referring to me as his wife one more time. So it's fine. It's fine that you date anyone that you want to, but just know that if you're an Asian woman and your partner is a white man, you're gonna have to go to restaurants with him and your children for the rest of everyone's natural life. Because my dad is fucking 80. And it would happen if I went somewhere with, I can't even go somewhere with him. He's 80 fucking years old. I walk into restaurants if I'm with my dad like this. Dad. That's how I walk in. That's the future for your kids. I'm just saying, it's fine. I'm just telling you how it's gonna go.
These revelations about the Asian women, or generally around the Asian culture of trying so hard to be identified with white people, what will I call it, fetish belief of having to align with white people or marry a white person so that you could have cute children, you could have children with blue eyes, with blonde hairs and all of those things, right? It's kind of crazy why or how we have reached this point. There's nothing wrong with admiring people. Like I admire every race, whether it's white people, whether it's Chinese, whether it's Arabs, whatever it is, all of us are God's people. And there's nothing wrong with admiration, right? But the fact that people will go out of their way, even parents, to the point of convincing their own children to like marry the white people so that they could be, safeguarded from whatever racism or supremacy, white supremacy, or they would have some kind of favor. And I guess some other people or other Asians marry or give out their daughters in marriage to white men because of financial benefits. It's no longer news. We've all known that. And the Chinese people, or would I say the Asians, have confirmed that some of their parents would like them to marry white men, especially American white men, so that they will have some kind of financial aid or something, right? So it's kind of crazy. And the fact that a lot of these Asian people are aligning themselves to, MAGA, and we all know during the elections, the Asians were one of the largest groups that gave most of their votes to the MAGA. And it's interesting why they feel the way they feel. But again, Trump is going to be Trump, and he's going to, kick everyone to the curb when it's time, So it's kind of crazy. And these revelations are just showing us different facet of how people are, trying to be so close to being called white, or feel as if they belong to being white, because they feel once they are aligned to white, they are gonna be excluded from the excesses that comes with racism or any form of bias or segregation. So guys, if you have or share the same thought as I am, please share your thoughts in the comments. And if you have come far in this video, hit on the subscribe button, hit on the like button, hit on the share button, hit on the notification bell in order not to miss any of my videos. See you on the next one. Have a blessed day.